The first thing we need to talk about is understanding coverage area. This is probably one of the things that I get asked a lot. We have a dual beam 2D sonar. We have a 200 kilohertz is 1/3 of depth. So as that signal goes deeper, it gets larger. So roughly in 30 foot of water, you're going to look at a 10-foot circle, basically 5 foot in every direction from the transducer, because 2D sonar is a cone-shaped element, both forward, side, rearward, every direction. It equally leaves the transducer at the same rate. The next is the 83 kilohertz, is basically equal to depth. We're seeing we're getting a wider coverage here. That is one of the benefits of 83 kilohertz, is if you need a wider coverage in your 2D, we offer in the Humminbird units 200 and 83 kilohertz. This is available not only on 2D only units, but the side imaging and as an option on down imaging models. The next we're going to talk about is our DI, and with the side imaging units and narrow, is going to be very similar to the same coverage area as our 200 kilohertz. When we go to medium, it's more traditionally about the same size as the 83 kilohertz. When you set your unit in wide, you are getting about 90 degrees coverage, which is about 1.5 times the depth of water that you're in. So if you're using down imaging, I recommend using the wide function because it helps you cover more area. Now, one thing about down imaging is it's very narrow front to rear. Front to rear is not very wide. It's very wide side to side, just like our side imaging. Now, there's also two frequencies in side imaging. You have an 800 kilohertz, which you can see here is covering a greater amount of bottom, but we still don't cover from the water surface. It's about 110 degrees of coverage area. It's more of a special application frequency that looks more wider and more down. If you're going to run it on your unit, I would recommend about 3 times the depth. Now, the ultimate coverage area is with the 455 kilohertz frequency, because as you can see here, it's covering from the water surface all the way below the boat on both sides. It's 180 degrees of coverage, so you're covering everything in the water column. This is just an example that shows that Humminbird exceeds their advertised maximum specifications of their units. The yellow line here is representing the 240 foot range, which is what Humminbird advertised. And if you can see in this picture, you can see the bank over here on the left. We're at 360 on both sides, so we're actually exceeding what is advertised in this image. Same thing with down imaging. This is 150 foot advertised. We're actually seeing this bridge. That 148 is actually at this point right here where we're coming back up on the roadbed of this bridge. This depth here is in the 170 foot range, showing the bottom. You can see the bottom in side imaging, you can see it in down imaging, and you can see we're far exceeding the specifications that are advertised by Humminbird. One of the big things with Humminbird is their superior shallow water performance. Looking here, we're in 1.7 foot of water. We can see a crab trap here. We're seeing everything over the bank. This black area here is where the sound wave hits the bank here. But we can see all the grass. This was actually shot down in South Louisiana. We've got oyster beds and we've got some aquatic vegetation in the water here that you're picking up in 1.7 foot of water, and we're looking 80 foot to both sides. This is with 455 kilohertz, and it's superior shallow water performance. It's awesome, awesome technology for shallow water applications. It's not just deep water sonars. It's great use everywhere you fish.